Hey guys, welcome back. So guys, in this video we are going to continue our Laravel e-commerce series, which is all about the checkout page, where we are going to integrate Razorpay pay online. Okay, so guys, we are integrating the Razorpay in our website in Laravel. Done. So now let's create one simple button as it is. So I have already done with that and divided the parts like into 6 columns, where we have the type submit button for placing the order in previous video, right? And in this video we are creating one simple button that is type it is equal to button only, and where that we have given a class Razorpay button and then simple normal class to show the design output of it. So you have got this output right now. Okay, so guys, this Razorpay things will require many user things to integrate it. So first step, we have to create one class Razorpay button, and then we have to call this class by using Ajax jQuery things. Done. So guys, now let us create one script tag, where you will find the script over here like this script. So let me just remove this one, Razorpay checkout this, because we need to integrate. I'll just tell you how to get that first. So guys, now what we have to do is actually create this script section. So this script section is extended from our layout called front end. So I'll just show you. So front end layout, this is my script yield. So this script I have copied and pasted here at the below. So let's just paste that, and simple, let's create one file inside assets.js checkout.js file I have created, where this is the file. Done. So guys, you can find this file inside assets.js and checkout.js. So now, so first step, we will go to our, okay, let's finish the things about the calling the things, like how when we click on this checkout Razorpay, that time your user details should be fetched, and these details price value should be getting it right. After that, then we'll pass this total price into our Razorpay online thing. So for that, let's type and get the data. So jq doc. So we have got this, and now we have to check with this jq click, and then over here you are going to call your dot and your button name. So that button name is, what is that, Razorpay button. So let's copy this and paste, and over here you have to call your datas. So let's create a variable called data is equal to, inside curly braces we will call the input values and store it. So as simple, like where we are going to tell this as first underscore name, though same thing we will copy it. Where is our input files? So these are our checkout page input names. So first name, you can find that first name attribute, where we will get that over here. $.val will take input values, not semicolon, it should be comma, because we are directly storing it. And inside this name, like we have to tell input of name attribute, where is equal to first name. So we will get that detail. So guys, I have already done with this. So for that, we have to check with it. Okay, so before this, we have to call the Ajax. In Laravel we need Ajax headers, so we will paste that also. So I have already done with that. So let me just copy this and paste here. So this is for checking the CRF token for Ajax, and then the values for this I have already completed that each input tag. So we'll just copy it, Control C and paste. That's it. Okay, so as you can find that first name, last name, phone number, alternate address, city, state, pin code, right? So those things over here, it is called everything correctly. So make sure you are copying the same thing and pasting it correctly. Okay, so I have pasted now. And the token which we are getting in the CSR of token over here, so this input field, after loading the page, it will be from this. With the help of this, we will automatically, it will be generated one. So we are getting the token also here, and that's it. And then now we will start with the next process of getting the data. Okay, so for that we are using one Ajax. So let's style JQ Ajax over here, and now here type is equal to post, and your URL will be there. So URL will be, we will be creating called confirm Razorpay payment. Okay, save this, and we don't need this data type, and the data which you are getting over here, you have to take that, right? So let's copy that and paste it over here. So this data you are getting it and saving here. So confirm Razorpay payment. So once we click that, after success, you should get some response to it, right? So for that, first let us copy this and go to our web.php over here, and let's create the URL for it. So I'm just going to mention called Razorpay, and let's pass the value with the post method, where we will paste this URL confirm Razorpay, and the same controller I'm going to use that checkout only. So let's use checkout controller to this to check amount. Okay, so how much is the total amount that we are going to check? So let's copy this and let's go to checkout controller over here. So you came here, so let me go to at last and create a function. So let's create a function, simple function with the name check amount, where $request I'm going to type, and then we have to call up with the things to check the amount. Okay, so once you click over here, the amount should be checked up, right? So these data and all we have taken right now. As you can see that you have got the data over here inside this data variable. So after that, what we will do, I have already done the part, so let me just copy and paste it over here. So for that, first thing we will check out with the cookie things. So I'll just show you where it is. Okay, so because that video will extend it too long, so for that sake I'm just copying and pasting it. So we will see what goes now. So we are over here. So first simple if statement, we are going to check if cookie is set, then we are going to enter this. So guys, as you can see that cookie data which we have added into a cookie of shopping cart, we are checking that, and then cart data and all the things which is items in cart is available. So if the cart is available, we are using for each loop and checking its item data with that product item ID. So inside that item ID, if it is available, we are getting the offer price of it and then calculating. So price, product price, and the quantity, we are multiplying it by into and then adding into a total variable. So this total variable we are assigning with 0 at starting and then storing the total value. So guys, after storing this total value, you can find that after that I am returning over here in JSON format all the requests. So first I will just explain you this total value I have taken and kept into a variable, JSON variable called total price. Okay, and then authenticator user email thing I have also kept here, and then as usual normal f name, l name, this first name, last name, phone number, alternate address, city, state, pin code. These details are taken from your these datas. Okay, so this f name, which these are the inputs which I am going to get from the request method. So this request I am accepting from here and pasting that first name over here and storing into this response variable. Okay, so now once you get the response, you will be shown the output over there. And this is else statement, where if something goes wrong, that time you are going to check this status code, no data in the cart. If it is available, your cart is empty, you are going to show the message. So now let's get back to checkout page and tell over here, let's type the if condition and tell that dot status code. So response dot status code. Okay, so response dot status code is double equal to, within the double quotes, what we are passing. So this is the variable which this is the data which we are passing. If it is something like this, then we will tell window dot location dot href. So dot href, I have already done that, so let me just copy it for that. So where it is, it's over here, so let's just copy it and paste it, so let me not waste time. Okay, so now it will be redirected to cart page if there is no data, with the message called, as you can see, your cart is empty. Done. So now in else part we are going to check else. In else function we will check the price first. So once the price is updated, we were going to check. So response means we will take this response dot your total, what was that variable we created, just check it out. Okay, total price we have taken, so let me copy that total price. So this is the total price. So this we are going to console log and check the output for it. So let's save, and now let me check the value for it. So guys, let's just refresh this page and check what happens now. So you can find that 23,500 is the grand total. So let's open our developer tool, inspect, Control Shift plus I, or else right click and press this. And now guys, what we have to do, let me click on console. So let's just make it a little smaller, and now I'm going to click on this pay online. So guys, just click on it, pay online, where you can see that 23,500 is the value which you are getting in. Done. So the value which is present over here. Great. So we are getting successfully now, and then what we have to do, we'll just comment this and start with the Razorpay integration part. So let's go to razorpay.com and check what to integrate and what to not integrate. So let's move to razorpay.com, and you can find develop over here, API references. We will click on it. So I'll just check it with that, what happens. Okay, where you can find not API, let's just put this find with integrations. Just click that integration. Yes, so we'll move on to integration. Let me close this API one. So guys, let's see documentation. So let's click on docs, where you are going to see that redirected integration, and now you can see integration steps. So web Razorpay standard checkout. So we will get the user interface in this format, right? So guys, for this, now what we have to do, we'll just go through it and see here. So first you have to go log in or sign up. After logging in, you will get a dashboard like this, and here it is telling your steps how to get. So first step, wait, just let this over and we will continue with this. Okay. So guys, as you can see, first he is going to test mode, from live mode to he is going to test mode, and from test mode he is going to settings, and then settings to API. From API you are generating the API, and copy this key ID, not secret. We don't need secret. We are just going to use key ID for it, for the payment integration. So just copy that key ID and then move with it. So I have already kept my key ID and then follow with the create step 1. So we don't need this step 1. We'll move on with the step 2. Not yes. So step 2, passing that with this manual checkout with handler function in JavaScript. Okay. So this is the button, right? One simple button they have given, and this is the URL. So this URL we are going to copy it. So let's just copy. So in beginning I just removed that URL for understanding purpose. Now we are going to integrate in our checkout page at below, before the link of checkout of Razorpay. Okay. So this is the URL and this is the checkout thing. Done. So guys, now let us see what happens over here. So this thing will be integrated as usual. So let me just tell that what we are going to use. We will take this fully, and till here we are going to copy it. So let me right click, copy, and okay, let's copy it fully, and which we don't need, I'll just remove that. So let's copy that, fully copied, and now let's move it to our checkout.js file. Over here you are going to paste it, as simple. So this is a where condition over here, and let's remove this. So we don't need this and this functionality, just not required, so ignore that. So let it be this open. As you can see, I have already integrated with that things, so I'm not using it. Okay. So guys, now let us change this theme and all. Over here you can find the address of the user and the name, email, phone number, everything is available, right? So we have to paste according to it. So your key ID will be here, and the 5000 INR. If you are showing the currency also, you can show it, or else just remove that. So let me just remove it. We don't need this currency of showing it over here, not required. And your logos should be done with this. And this is your payment ID, order ID, signature ID you're getting. So we need only payment ID. So let's just keep this payment ID. And from here response, we are going to change the variable name, because this response and the above response will be clashed. So you are going to change the variable name as Razorpay underscore response. Okay. And now paste over here. That's it. So guys, main thing, you have to paste your key. So I have already the key, so I'm going to copy my key and paste that. So let's paste it. This is my key and the amount thing. So I have already done with this coding part, so let me just paste it, because it's going to take more time if I start making correction. So let's just copy that and paste. Now with the pre-fill things and theme color. So let's paste it. If you require that notes also, you can keep it, or else ignore it. Okay, so we don't need that address. If you required, you can keep the address to show in your Razorpay, but I don't need, so I just removed that. So now guys, what we have to do is that, see, so you're getting from the response the variable of total price, right? So over here I am getting that response of total price over here. So amount will be into multiplied by 100, because this is Razorpay is calculating into paisas, so it's working in this format. And the company name, which I have stored as Fabcart, and thank you for purchasing, I have given over here, and the image logo of your company name, and then handler Razorpay, which is followed up over here. Done. So before that, this response of first name, response of last name. So we are getting response of phone number and email, which is from this checkout controller over here. First name, last name, phone number, and your email, which we have pasted, that authenticated user email. So that thing we are getting by the help of response. So this response, not your option of a Razorpay response. Okay, over here. So now what we have to do is that we will, when we click, that total price should come in a Razorpay format. So after that you have to work on this inside this handler to store your record. So before that we will check the amount it's working or not. So guys, let's get back and reload the page. So let me just refresh the page, and what we are going to do, so our test mode should be working. So let me click on it, Razorpay online. What happens? See, the 23,500, it's coming your logo and thank you for purchasing it. So everything is done, right? So you can see the find phone number and your email address, which we have given from here. So this is the phone number and email which we have defaultly fetched, or else you can provide the option for email also over here, and then you can fetch that email ID also. Okay, proceed to pay. So once you are giving this card details or whatever you are going to pay this amount by its ID, so that time we will show the output. I mean, we have to save the record. So guys, now for saving it, we are going to call the Ajax query and to save it. Okay, so for that, let's just call this, which I have copied it already. So we have to, as simple, we will just check this. Let me call this Ajax call, which we are just pasting it. As simple, Ajax call, where type is equal to post and place your order, and this is the data which you are going to take all the values it. Okay, so this is the Razorpay payment ID which we have copied it, and these data, first name, last name, we are again sending these records, right? And then finally we are creating one more option, place order Razorpay, which is we are setting to true. Okay, so this true we should set, and then call this first name, last name, phone number, alternate by response. So this response means which we are getting from your checkout controller. Okay, so let's check the response of it and then get the total price. So from the total price only we are getting all the details. See, these are the details which we are getting into this response. Oops, as a checkout in this response, and then fetching that response into these variables. Done. So once this is done, now we are going to move to place order. So once you go to place order, you can find that variable. I mean, this is the place order URL which we have already seen in our checkout form. So I will just remember you, in previous video we have used the same URL to proceed to checkout. Okay, so now let's go to our controller over here. Oops, let me go to web.php. Over here you can find that store order. So checkout controller, store order, you're finding it this, right? So now we have to do something like storing this again, details of user, and then placing one new order, and then carting into all the items of it. Done. So guys, what we will do, we don't need to repeat it again and again. That is not a good habit. So let me just divide these things first. So let me just control X for this user data update. So let's create a function called private. So private function where update user, I'm just telling that and pasting the data. So what we will do now, so this is going to process one time. So let me just return it directly here and ignore it. I mean, just leave it. And what you're passing, the user ID. So let's pass the user ID, comma, and $request, REQUEST request. So both things we are passing it. one is user ID and one is the request, right? So let's just copy this. So let's just copy this function name and call the function inside this, and just tell with this as $this of arrow. So this function will be running as common thing. Let's give semicolon, which is showing an error. Save, done. So once you run, everything is going to be fine. And the same process for this also, where we are going to add the cart items for it. Okay, so let's create a simple function for it also, and we will tell. So let me just make this smaller. Simply empty gaps are living. Okay, so let's tell private function, where I'm going to tell this order items, insert order items. We will just mention that. Okay, and in this, what things will get? Last inserted ID. So that last inserted ID is nothing but last order ID it is, okay, which you are going to get. So let me just rename that once again. Let me copy and paste, and then we have to copy this ordered items, order cart items. Let's Control X for it, and now we'll paste it over here. Everything is working fine, but we have to give this last order ID, right? So for that we are passing this variable, variable. So inside that we will copy this function, not this function, this function name, insert order items. Let me just paste that, semicolon, and tell $this of insert order items. That's it. Where user ID you are also going to pass, right, inside this? No, so user ID is not passed over here, so just one time, right? So your order items also inserted and your update also. So now let's continue with the Razorpay integration thing, which is all about the online payment. Now let me just minimize this as simple. So guys, let me give if condition, and we have to check over here it is set or not. So is set of $_post of, where we will copy this, which is that here, place order Razorpay. So let me just copy that and move to our controller, paste. So now done, and now we will proceed with the online order Razorpay thing. Okay, so for that, as you can see in our normal placing order, we are finding this user data to update, and then placing your order, and then adding the cart items, and then checkout successfully, right? So for that we are also going to copy the same thing and edit few things in it. So let's just paste that, and as usual you can see that user ID we have to get authenticated user, and then update the requests whatever we are getting. So from where you are getting this request is nothing but after your place order URL call of your Ajax. So when you are calling this Ajax request on it, that time you are going to click on it, handler function, that time it will call it. So this procedure will call your F name, L name, phone number. Make sure you're using the same name of it. Okay, so almost your same this detail. Let me minimize this. Okay, so this same user input request should be there. So this is the alternate number, right? So let's copy this and let's check once. So you can find yes, so there is a difference, right? So make sure you are adding the correct one. So this mistake was done to check the correct output of it. Okay, so let's make it and check it, everything correct, working fine. Okay, so yes, so all the things are cool, and now we have to take this payment, rather payment ID, and pass on it also. So let me just take it to the controller, and now let us get down to our online payment Razorpay, place order Razorpay. So user ID will be, user data will be updated successfully, and now let's generate a random order ID. So let's generate the ID for it, order. So once you click, new order is going to be placed, and with the authenticated user and your token number, instead of payment cash on payment mode, you have to tell payment by Razorpay. Okay, payment by Razorpay or paid by Razorpay, however you can mention, and this you have to tell status is equal to 1, right? So because your payment is done, so you can not, this will be 2, because in 1 is for confirming this your common user, right? So for default, I'll just make a rule over here. Let's create a simple rule. Payment status is equal to 0 is equal to nothing paid. Okay, 1 is equal to cash paid. 2 is equal to we are going to say Razorpay payment successful. So 3 is equal to Razorpay payment failed. Okay, so this is process will be there, and now in 4 we will continue with like Paytm and Stripe. A few features thing will be coming in. Okay, so let us just continue this, and now let's see with the Razorpay. Now 2 we have given, we will just mention that 2, if the payment is successful, we will tell yes, you have to give the 2 or else it will be cancelled automatically, and your order status will be 0 because this is like yes, it is not delivered, so that is order 0, and notify will be 0 right now, and then order will be saved as common. Done. So before this order status payment, we have to check that your payment ID also, as you have created in your order table. So let me just click on FabCart. So just follow that, just load it. Okay, so in your order table we have created a payment ID option also. So let's just wait for it to load. Here, structures. So in structure you can see that here is the payment ID. So let's copy this payment ID and then call up with this one more integration over here. So let me just copy paste and replace that with this payment status, and then your payment ID we have to get it over here. So dollar request of input of your Razorpay payment ID. You can find that Razorpay payment ID. Let's copy this and move to our checkout and paste it over here. Simple. Done. So everything is completed now. So let us just check payment status, and yes, as simple. So let's get back, and then we have to create the order items. So last order ID we are getting it, and then inserting all the items. So let us just check that inserting, what we are inserting is nothing but your item carts. Whatever the items are stored over there, you are storing it. Okay, so as usual you can see that all the details will be inserted. So for that I will just show you a proof for it. So let us click on order items. So order items, so there is only 2 order items right now, and here we are seeing that right now one more order items are there. So if we pay the amount, the amount should get paid. So guys, if I click on 23,000 Razorpay online, We have clicked on it, so you are getting 23,000. If I click, my trial balance will get cleared, so I'm just going to integrate with 1 rupee. Okay, so let's go to checkout page. As you can see that my total response is over here, right? Total price. So I'm just going to copy and comment it over here and place. Comment this. Keep it for your reference because my balance will get low. For the demo, I'm just going to use 1 rupee only. Whatever is their amount, we will get 1 rupee. And yes guys, so let me just refresh it once again and check out with that. Cool. So now let's click on this Razorpay, and after success we were going to get it. Okay, so let's just change the mail ID because this is a dummy mail ID. So let me just add the perfect mail ID because there should be no issue. So let me click to proceed, and let's use the UPI for it. Let's just enter the UPI pin 617 at YBL. Let's just pay for it. And whatever comes on your phone, you have to pay it. Okay, so everything we redirect to thank you page. Cool. So after the payment is successful, you will be redirected to thank you page, because once your code is run, you are selling that windows.reduction to thank you page. So the payment is successful, and then you can find that here the order has been placed. So let me browse it. We will just check it out. Cool. So we got the order also 3 and 4, and you have redirected to thank you page. So thank you page is missing. You can create just a simple thank you page by using a default page called, for example, I'm just going to create in simple way. So let's just finish that also in this video. Okay, so this will be outside your authentication check. So I'm just going to use simple where get function and place your thank you, and then call the whatever page you want. Let's call the, where is our controller front end. Okay, so let's call this into cart controller itself, whichever. So let's just paste that into cart controller and tell this thank you. Let's copy this and go to our cart controller. So we are on it, and let me go to below and create a function called thank you, return and return view like front end dot thank you. Let's copy this and create a file inside this. Resource views front end. Inside front end, I'm going to create directly one file named thank you blade.php. Done. And now let me just check with this and input all the required things. So let's just fastly we'll copy this and paste over here. Import the classes whatever we required and end the section for it, and tell this thank you page. Over here you're going to call the same just required as normal. Let's just, oops, what is this? Where is that? Checkout. thank you. I need thank you page, so let me go to that page. Dot container and paste. Over here I'll mention thank you for shopping, and then if you need the message to print, you can use this if statement and show the message also whatever we have given into our session of status. So let me just copy this and paste into h3 tag, and let's just mention that. Done. So let us save this and reload the page so you can find the thank you page finally. Let's reload it and see. Okay, type doesn't exist. Which is this front end? No, let me just check it out. Where is the issue in that? Okay, so this is the mistake, so just remove this. Let's just remove that and reload the page. Here guys, so thank you page, thank you for shopping is there, and now you can find the shopping, and then you can pass that messages whatever it is sent. So the messages also is sent, right? So guys, now in this video we have completed about how to make this Razorpay payment online using in Laravel. So thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe, like and share.